Hi, welcome to my Flosstube. This is Rhonda with Asbury's Echoes, and this is Flosstube number 3. I have so much to share today that I decided to come back. I wasn't going to come back within a week, but here I am. First of all, I want to thank everybody for subscribing. I've just been amazed and overwhelmed. I didn't think anybody would really want to sit and listen to me, and yet there are those out there who seem to enjoy it, so I'll keep going. I did have somebody ask me how I came up with the name of Asbury's Echoes, and I had thought about maybe sharing that, so I thought I would start with that. Quite some time ago, I was trying to come up with a Facebook page just to share my cross stitch, because I think my family and friends probably get really tired of seeing my cross stitch stuff all the time. And as I was trying to come up with a name, I just didn't know. I had no clue what to come up with. And I happened to be going through some old family papers and things that I have here around the house. And I came across, was just a scratch paper. It had advertising or something on one side of it. I can't remember what it was for sure. It was all folded up. But it had writing all around the outside of it, you know, like somebody had been trying to save paper or something. And I opened it up, and it was something that my great-grandmother Halcyon had written. And it said lyrics, so I don't know if she was trying to write a song, if it was a poem, I'm not sure what it was. But it was talking about how our ancestors, we are the echoes of our ancestors. And it just kind of made me think. I thought that was kind of a neat thing. So I thought echoes. What could I use with echoes? And my great-grandma Halcyon was on my mom's side. My great-grandpa Asbury Bond was on my father's side. And I've always been fascinated about the stories that I hear of great-grandpa Asbury. I never did get to meet him. He passed away before I was born. But it sounds like he was quite the colorful character. He fought in the Spanish-American War, and he was an extremely patriotic man. He lived on the river through the summer. I guess that was his, they said that he just lived in an old cabin or shack on the river in the summer. There was just so many stories, some interesting, some funny. But I always liked the name Asbury, and I was always fascinated with Grandpa Asbury. So that's how I came up with Asbury's Echoes, because if we're echoes of our ancestors and Great-Grandpa Asbury. What are you doing, Drew?
My pencil was on the way.
Oh, sorry. Great-Grandpa Asbury. I love the name. I loved him. So that's how I came up with Asbury's Echoes. I know it's probably not the easiest thing to remember, and really, what does it have to do with cross-stitching? Not a whole lot, but I did get my love of crafting and sewing, cross-stitching, all of the stuff that I love to do came from my great-grandma Ward. Grandpa Asbury would have been her father. So I like to think that maybe there's some echoes of great-grandpa Asbury and all the rest of the family in me, and that's where Asbury's Echoes came from. So I'm sure that was probably a little boring, but we'll get on with the cross stitch now. I did get one thing finished, and I was really proud of the way this came out. I think it's just gorgeous. This is the one I've been working on the last couple times, and it is Harvest I Grow, and it's by Lori Rippey. I'll put it over here maybe. It's on the fabric, if I remember right, is 36 count buttermilk, and I used all the called for flosses. I don't know if you can see it or not. I don't always do that. I'm a DMC girl, but sometimes I do use all the flosses. This was definitely one of those times. And this morning, as I was opening up our devotional, Drew's a homeschool kid, and we do a devotion every morning, and it's a science-based devotion, but I opened it up this morning and saw that tomorrow our topic is going to be perfectly imperfect. And I thought, oh, that's perfect for this. And it's perfect for a lot of my things, to be honest with you. There was a mistake on this one and I didn't realize it until I was done stitching the little boy here, but he's not where he belongs. He's supposed to be over towards the border, I think 1 or 2 stitches. But I got him done, realized the mistake I'd made, looked at him, and I thought, you know what? No, he wants to be right where he's at. I think he looks good there. And perfectly imperfect, no, imperfectly perfect. Perfectly imperfect, I'm sorry. That just, it's perfect, even though it does have a mistake in it. I think that's something we need to maybe trying to remember. Drew says it was a happy little mistake. I think he's been watching Bob Ross. I'm not sure.
The Izzy's.
Oh, never mind. He says the Izzy's off YouTube, but that came from Bob Ross. So that was my one mistake. Let's see. And I think that was my only, oh no, I have this finished too. This one is A Merry Old Christmas. This is just one of my little designs that I just came up with and sat down one evening and stitched him up, and he needs to be put, well, I think I'm gonna make him into a pillow. And I eventually hope to put him in my Etsy shop. So maybe in a couple weeks I'll have that done, we'll see. He's just a cute little thing. He's all DMC, and I use just a piece of 32 count linen that I tend to have here at the house that I get at Joann's. Doesn't really have a name. I'm not sure what it is. Those are my only 2 finished items, although I do have a few fully finished, and I'll start with some of those. Since Halloween's coming, this one I've had finished for a couple years, I think. But Halloween's next week, and I don't generally decorate or do much for Halloween. We're not big Halloween people here. But I stitched this one, and it's called Alloween. It's from Lori Brecklin, Not Forgotten Farms. It's one of my favorites. I don't know, there's something about those sweet little owls that I have to get this one out and display it every year. And again, this one was done on the same linen that I did my Merry Old Christmas on. I have no idea if I used the called for threads or not. I think I might have on this one, but it's been so long, I just don't know. But I just think they are just adorable. And the name Alloween, I think that's sweet. And then there is the rest of these. No, I have this one. I finished just a couple days ago. And this one is from Handed Schoolgirl Samplers, Marilyn Fetter. Just a sweet, quick little stitch. And again, I used that same linen. And I'm pretty sure I used the called for threads. I might have changed the flesh tone. I don't know for sure. I don't have the pattern with me. But I think maybe the flesh tone's a little darker than what it was called for. The frame is just a simple Hobby Lobby unfinished frame. I'm sure it was maybe a couple dollars. The tag doesn't say. But I just painted it and distressed it, and I had it fit perfectly in there. I think that I probably will try stitching him again, and I'll take the date off. And I'll sew him into a pillow. I think he'd make a cute little pillow too. He's nice and prim. I like the tree. And there was that one. And then the rest of these here are my own designs. I've just started doing my own designs. It's been kind of fun. I don't know how good I am at it, but I do appreciate those who have bought my patterns. I just opened up an Etsy shop. So it's been fun. This is one of the first ones I designed, and it's called This Is the Day. This is the day the Lord has made. It's got the cabin and the horse. I'm a horse person. I love horses. The flag. I probably was thinking Grandpa Asbury at this point in time, because I know that he was extremely patriotic and he was a believer, and I always picture him in a cabin because of the stories living down on the river. So that one there is in my Etsy shop. This one was a fun one to stitch. Then I've done some Christmas. I'm not sure why I'm thinking Christmas already. I'm normally not, but this was one I did. Our dear Savior's birth. This, I'm sure, was stitched on 32 count mocha. I'm pretty sure. I don't have it written down. I should have written that down, but I didn't. It's all DMC threads. And this frame was a thrifted frame. It had something else in it, and I know I took it out. I had hot glue stuck on it, and I just painted it and distressed it. Pretty simple. And then I have these three. I'll be home for Christmas. I have a thing for blue houses. I don't know why. I love the color blue, and I love little blue houses. So there's that one. And these, I realized after I did them, I don't think I stuffed them quite as much as I should have. But it's done now. I do stuff almost always. I use the crushed walnut shells, and it's actually sold as lizard litter. I think that's what it's called. So you put them in a lizard, you put it in lizard cages, but it's just crushed walnut shells, and I love the way it fills up the pillow. I love the way it feels. You can kind of set it down and shape it better than a fiber fill. Or yeah, I have stuffed with rags, I have stuffed with sawdust, but for some reason this is just my go-to. So I have that one, and I have Snow Day. Snow Day is kind of a little bit cutesy, but I love a good snowman and I love a good snow day. We live in Iowa, so we do get snow. Some, not as much as we used to, but and Drew's back there laughing at me because I love the snow. There's that one, and then there's Christmas is Coming with a little Santa Claus and some reindeer. And again, I don't think I stuffed these as well as I should have. I did coffee dye all of them, as you can see. Coffee, and I use coffee and walnut crystal dye, and sometimes I'll put a little bit of brown RIT dye in with it. It's just never a set in stone recipe. I just dump until I think it looks good, and off I go. So there's those. This one, and this one, and our dear Savior's birth, they're all on Etsy. I don't have my Snow Day put up yet. I will try and work on that. See if I can't get it going. Let's see, what else is there? Drew, did you want to talk about yours? He says no. Okay.
Yes.
Well, come over here. Drew's my cameraman. He's my 12-year-old son. He's the one that's pushing me to do all this. And sometimes he sits down and opens up the program and designs some of his own stuff. And he's wanting to share one of his if I can get him to come up here. He's a car person. He loves anything with 4 wheels, or 2 wheels, or 3 wheels. It doesn't matter if it's got a motor. He loves it. Come on, if you want to show him.
This is weird.
Okay, we'll probably cut that part out because he's not ready yet.
I can't.
All right, what else have we got? Okay, my whips. Since I'm pretty much a monogamous stitcher, I have been waiting because I've been wanting to stitch Blackwater Hollow Sampler. I know I shared this last time. I'm still waiting. It's supposed to, my fabric and threads are supposed to come tomorrow from 123 Stitch. So I'm really hoping. But in the meantime, I've been stitching Christmas, and last night I sat down and pulled this one out, and it's Nightshade Farm from Not Forgotten Farms, Lori Brecklin. I just love her stuff. She's so primitive, and she has some of the prettiest things. And this one, I know I have had my eye on in the past, but just never, I don't know, never started it. Thought this would be a good time. So last night I got started, And this is how much I've gotten so far. I love the owl. There's something about owls, apparently. The other owls I showed you were Lori Breckland's too. This one's been fun. It's different. It's very different. It's a lot of muted colors. And I did it on vintage mocha. Is that the name of it? I thought I wrote it down, but I can't remember. I'm using all the called for threads except for the pumpkins. I think it called for, it was bittersweet. Maybe, I think it was a Gentle Art sampler thread. I think, I did not have that. I had everything else. I did not have that one. So I'm using, I can't remember. I don't remember what that one was called. Anyway, it's not the right color. I'm not using the color that's called for. I think maybe the color that was called for is a little more orange, but I think this is okay too. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's different. It's just one I think I'll probably only display this time of year, but it's a nice, quick, fun stitch. And that's what I'm working on right now, and hopefully next time I'll have started on Blackwater Hollow Samplers. I am going to try something new. I have 2 grandchildren, Andrew, and they're the only kids in the family. The rest are all grown up, but we still have the 3. And I try and do a cross stitch ornament every year for the kids. I thought I'd switch it up this year and maybe try a Mill Hill. So I did come across this Mill Hill holiday. It's called Holiday Pin, and it's a little angel. And I thought she would be perfect for my granddaughter. It's Indigo Angel, and it's just a sweet little, and then a sweet little thing. And then if this works out well, I don't know if I've ever done perforated paper, so this will be new for me. There's a Santa Claus and a snowman, and so I'm thinking those would be good for, one for Drew and one for my grandson Braxton. But the little angel, I thought, reminded me of little Miss Bea. I'm gonna try that. I'm not sure when I'm gonna get to it. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see. Before Christmas, I hope. Then I'll get it finished. I wanted to do a shout out. I haven't had a lot of time to watch Flosstube, but I did see a couple, and I have been watching Darlene Dion, I think that's how you pronounce it, Darlene Dion Designs, and she's real fun. She's in Canada, but she's very talented, and I did stitch one of her pieces. I've downloaded a couple, 3 more, and this one was Home Sweet Home. I primmed it up a little bit. She has just very sweet, simple designs, and a lot of them are based on home, which I enjoy that. And this one, I know I changed colors. I could not tell you what colors they were or what colors I used outside of, I'm sure they're DMC. And then again, I coffee and walnut crystal stained after I stitched. And this was just a little frame that came from Hobby Lobby. There's something behind it, behind my stitch, and I'm not sure what it says. It might say Home Sweet Home or something, I'm not sure, but the little frames, you can pick them up for just a little of nothing, and then just mount your picture on a piece of cardboard and plop them in there, and then you can pull them out if you need them and switch them to something else. This was a little smaller than the frame, so I added some of the little fabric on the side, and it just sits on a shelf. She has a lot of really neat, fun little stitches, and I enjoy watching her. And yesterday I watched Brianna Lentz, I think it's called, and was Flosstube number 27. I'd not watched her before, but she was offering these free download of this project planner, and I used it today, and it's wonderful, so thank you. I wrote down all my notes so I could remember what I was wanting to talk about, And then I can just put this in my handy dandy notebook so I can look back and see what I've shown and what I haven't and what I've talked about. So thank you for that. I'm amazed at all the ideas and the freebies and all the stuff on Flossbook there, or Flosstube there is to see. Yeah, Drew, Flossbook. I like to read, so everything's a book to me.
I think you got it from Facebook.
Doreen with Privies and Prims, big shout out to her because she has mentioned me in hers, and it has brought so many people to my Flosstube and people to my Etsy shop, and I just appreciate that so much. I'm excited because I see that she's got a new Flosstube out, and I can't wait to watch it because she's going to show how to make acorns with wool and real acorn caps. And I have two big old oak trees right outside my window here. They're my favorite trees, but we have so many acorns. Now I think I'll know what to do with some of those acorn caps.
I hate mowing.
If I can get some more out picked up before my husband and Drew mow again.
I hate mowing this time of year.
Because it's hard on the acorns. And one other, I was watching Woolly Stitcher, Sherry with the Woolly Stitcher, and I enjoyed her so much, and I commented to her, and she was talking about her daughter being on her Flosstube. And so I went back and watched that one, and her daughter, Malia, she's just the most precious young girl. And I enjoyed watching that so much, and they were sharing Paula Vaughn patterns. Now Paula Vaughn is far from prim, far from the type of stitching I do now, but I did stitch back in the day when I was younger. I stitched I don't know how many Paula Vaughns, and I know I kept this one for myself, and I think I gave one to my mom, and I can't remember which one what it was called, but this is the one I wanted to share so Sherry could see it. And this one is I'm not sure what it's called, because I have written on the back, Summer Comes Calling, and I stitched this in 1994, but when I looked it up online, it's also can be called Summer Welcome, or Welcome Summer.
That was a long time ago.
Summer Welcome. So either one, Summer Welcome or Summer Comes Calling. But I leave it hanging up. It's by my bedroom, so I see it every day. I just love it because I would love to have a back porch with a porch swing and a rocking chair.
We had that, but you took it out.
And I think that this is just so pretty with the barn in the background. And
we had that too, but you took it out.
oh, Drew says,
We had a back porch and we had a barn, but you ripped it out when you bought the house.
well, the barn was falling in
Oh.
and the back porch was enclosed.
Oh.
So I had nothing to do with those things. And I may never have a barn like that, or I know I won't have a back porch with a swing, but I can always look at my picture. We do live in the country, and we do have we have a crib and a couple outbuildings, but this just looks like the perfect setting to me. Anyway, I wanted to show that one because I didn't always do prim. I haven't always stitched prim. I have for a long, long time, but when I was younger, I stitched a lot of different things, a little more detailed and involved. And I think that is it. Oh, and this is Drew's. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, well then come up here and do it. Or not. If you're not going to come over here, okay, I'm sure we will probably edit some of this out.
Hi, I'm not sure if you can see me. I've been making made a couple, what do you call these? Patterns.
Patterns.
I made this one. It's a minivan. People do something called minivan camping. They turn their minivan into a camper. And I've always been really interested in that, so I thought I'd make a pattern.
Okay, that's it. He thinks that it's so easy to get it behind the camera, and then he laughed at me when I struggle. So now he's finding out it's not always
I've done this before on my other account.
not so easy. But
weird.
anyway, I think that's all for now. And again, thank you so much for everybody who watches. Thank you so much for everybody who visits my Etsy shop. And I will see you next time.